Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and here's the verse of the day. So we're going to be in Jonah 4, so the final chapter of the book of Jonah. So after today, we'll have finished an entire book of the Bible today with each other, guys. So, clap it up. Thank you guys for sticking with me, and I hope I'm doing a good job. God bless you guys. Thank you for subscribing. But here we go. But it displeased Jonah exceedingly, and he became angry. So Jonah was displeased by, the forgiveness of God. He was jealous because God had still punished him for running. So he prayed to the Lord and said, "Ah, Lord, was not this what I said when I was still in my country? Therefore I fled previously to Tarshish, for I know that you are a gracious and merciful God, slow to anger and abundant in loving kindness, one who relents from doing harm. Therefore now, O Lord, please take my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live." So, and admits God is a loving and forgiving God. So he admits that God is loving and forgiving, but he's kind of jealous because God had forgiven these people who had sinned against him, and Jonah had to go through this whole, spiel in the fish. So he's jealous, which is never good to be jealous. So Jonah asked God to take his life, feeling death is better than shame. And then here we see, then the Lord said, "Is it right for you to be angry?" So kind of like a parent saying, "I'm disappointed in you." It's kind of like, no, it's a rhetorical question. No, it is not right for you to be angry. You have no right. You do not have the right. God was angry with him, and it was not right for him to be mad. It was not his place. So Jonah went out of the city and sat on the east side of the city. There he made himself a shelter and sat under it in the shade till he might see what would become of the city. So Jonah made himself a shelter in the city to see what it would become. And here we see God blesses him with some shade. The Lord God prepared a plant and made it come up over Jonah, that it might be shade for his head to deliver him from his misery. So Jonah was very grateful for the plant. So God blessed him with a shade, providing a plant that Jonah was grateful for, providing the shade. So, from the heat or whatever, from the sun, so that, Jonah, his agony would be a little less while he's sitting there in his, jealous state. So even while we're doing something against God, contrary to God, Jonah was being a contrarian, God still does things for us. He still blesses us. He blessed Jonah with shade so that he could be comfortable in his sin. So, sorry guys, technical difficulty with the video. So Jonah was being a contrarian by, being against God, but God still blessed him. So here we see in Verse 7, but as morning dawned the next day, God prepared a worm, and it so damaged the plant that it withered. So God caused a worm to kill the plant, and it happened when the sun rose that God prepared a vehement east wind, and the sun beat on Jonah's head so that he grew faint. Then he wished death for himself and said, "It is better for me to die than to live." So he sent Jonah right back, spiraling down where he wanted to die again. It's kind of like the Santa Ana winds here in California, Southern California, that hit us, and the sun's on his head. He's struggling, but, he thought it would be better to die than to live, instead of, praying to God and asking for forgiveness. So then God said to Jonah, "Is it right for you to be angry about the plant?" And he said, "It is right for me to be angry, even to death." So God knew he shouldn't be angry and questioned him, but Jonah vehemently shot back that he was right, which you're never right when it comes to you versus God. He's always right. So, but the Lord said, "You have had pity on the plant for which you have not labored, nor made it grow, which came up in a night and perished in a night." So he had pity for something that he had nothing to do with, that, came up without his help, without needing him. And should I not pity Nineveh, that great city in which are more than 120,000 persons who cannot discern between their right hand and their left, and much livestock? So if Jonah pitied the plant, then how much more does God pity the people of Nineveh, people made in his image? So God made the plant, God also made Nineveh. Jonah had mercy, pity on the plant. God had pity on the people of Nineveh. which Jonah should have in turn said that to. That's where it ends in the Bible. But from Jewish tradition, here we also see these people also couldn't make moral, honest decisions without God. So they needed God. They repented. They're made in His image. They're His people too. So also, that's the end of the story. But in Jewish tradition, Jonah humbled himself and gave governance up to God. So it had a good, positive ending for Jonah. He finally realized the error of his ways and prayed back to God. But, all these people, they were God's people, so we need to have pity on our fellow brothers and sisters who are struggling, who need help to come back to God. We can't look down upon them because we're all children of God. We're all His people. So we must accept our fellow brothers and sisters, even if they're sinful or they're not walking down the right path. We have to accept them back in and love them, show them that love of God, that love of Jesus, bring them back to God. So thank you for watching, guys, and have a blessed day. Peace.